Chris Colbert. So yesterday, Jamel Herring had a fight where he lost against Ortiz. And after the fight, Chris Colbert came out and tweeted, "You need to stick to your military service instead of boxing," right? For those who don't know, Jamel Herring is, I believe, a former Marine, I believe. If not Marine, he was in the military, had, nice amount of military service before becoming a champion boxer. And Chris Colbert comes out and tweets, "You need to stick to your military service instead of boxing," after Jamel Herring's defeat. Now, Jamel Herring later on, he retired later on that night rather. And I'm not even going to say, oh, he shouldn't say this in the face of somebody's retirement. Chris Colbert is a fucking clown. He's a grade A clown. He tweeted this for absolutely no reason other than shock value, to get people back talking about him. Because the last we heard or last we saw of him, he was getting his ass whooped by a last minute replacement. Getting his ass kicked, getting hand, feet, toes, arms, and elbows and fingers put all on his ass, right? So now he's trying to come out and shame Jamel Herring for, getting defeated, which is clown shit, right? He needs to worry about coming back from that ass whooping we saw him take. He needs to worry about that. He received an ass whooping by a no-name guy who was a replacement on 2 weeks' notice, right? And he talking about Jamel losing and how he needs to stick to military service. Bro, get your clown ass out of here. All that hair dye in his head and then went to his brain or something, because he always seemed to talk shit about other boxers, but he needs to worry about his own skills and his own abilities and trying to get himself in championship contention, because he's not right now, right? And again, he's talking about a guy that's not only a veteran, but a guy that's a former world champion. And Chris ain't never even sniffed a world title yet. He ain't sniffed that yet. So I don't get what the hell he come, all this shit he be talking. And then once again, this is the same Chris Colbert who, after he gave his opinion, and this is the thing, people were taking Chris Colbert's opinion on Deontay Wilder as law, right? I remember he was getting praised left and right. Oh my God, Chris Colbert telling it like it is. He's a realist. He's a realist. He tells it like it is. Oh my God, he's one of the most realest guys in the game. He's not afraid to talk crazy about Wilder. He's not afraid to go against the grain. He's an independent thinker. He thinks for his own self. Oh my God, he's a guy who thinks for his own self. He doesn't align with those LDBC clowns. He doesn't align with the LDBC. Oh my God, he needs ultimate praise because he's such an independent thinker, right? Now, after he called Deontay Wilder a sucker, now after he called Jamel Herring really talking about he needs to stick to military service, now everybody's seeing him for who the fuck he really is, right? And again, I remember when he called Deontay Wilder a sucker. Chris, that's some sucker shit from you. For real, for real. We saw you on your motherfucking bicycle in your last fight, right? After you got dropped, you was on your bicycle, you was afraid to get knocked out. And I agree with Shakur Stevenson. I'd rather go out on my shield and go for the gusto and go in and give it all, put it all out on the line like Deontay Wilder did against Tyson Fury, versus backpedaling and running a whole fight the way he did. The way he did. We saw what Hector Garcia did to him. And then he's so delusional, Chris Colbert still got he an undefeated fighter in his bio. You need to update that bio, brother. And stop worrying about what Jamel got going on. Update that bio and let the world know what's really going on with your record. Don't be out here trying to fool folks. Because you went in hiding after that loss. You went into hiding after that loss. And now you want to pop back out with this shit to get people talking about you? Brother, get your ass up out of here, bro. Like, for real. He got embarrassed in his last fight against Hector Garcia. And he was in there just trying to survive against a guy he was supposed to walk through and demolish, right? A guy he was supposed to beat handedly. He was in there trying to survive in survival mode. So for him to come out and talk shit about Jamel, I'm like, bro, get up out of here, bro. Get up out of here. You always got to critique for other boxers and what they need to be doing and doing this and doing that and what to take losses like a man, all that goof ass shit. Now you coming out with this? Come on, man. We saw you get ragdolled by a guy on 2 weeks' notice. And this is what you coming with, man? Listen, you might need to look into military service yourself. Because I heard they was hiring. Maybe you need to do some military service. Because shit, I don't know. The way Hector Garcia had you looking, it was looking pretty shaky, brother. And I myself, when I saw the fight, I wasn't really too shocked that Chris Colbert lost like that. I really wasn't, right? I watched Chris Colbert fight. A lot of his fight game is based on flashiness. But that flashy stuff don't work when you in there with a guy who's a decent fighter and you don't have a lot of power yourself. Chris Colbert does not have enough power to keep guys honest, which is why I feel like Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis Lomachenko all would have steamrolled his ass in a heartbeat. So for him to come out and say that, nah, bro, get up out of here. You would have got steamrolled by them other guys. And you out here talking crazy about Jamel when you underestimated your last opponent and got whooped. And again, he's always vocal about other fighters' defeats. Always vocal about what another fighter did wrong in his fight, and oh my God, and how he's a sucker and this and that, and all this one needs to be worried about military service. Brother, we want to hear about how you underestimated your opponent in your last fight. Talk to us about that. Talk to us about you getting your ass kicked in your last fight. That's what we want. We want to hear you come out and speak so vocally and loudly about that. That's what we want to hear you address. But to address the Jamel Herring, I'm sorry about that. To address Jamel Herring like that, come on, bro, for real. And then before the fight against Hector Garcia, I remember Chris Colbert ass in there doing an electric slide and all that shit. I said, oh, nah, you get your ass whooped now. It's going to bounce back on you. And he got smoked out. Again, Chris is a fucking clown. A clown to me. And he think he better than what he is. And I always feel like a lot of boxers who think they're better than what they are, they get beat or they run into a buzzsaw a lot earlier than what they expect. Because nobody expected Chris Colbert to lose against Hector Garcia. They thought it would be at the hands of a Shakur Stevenson or something like that, right? But again, Chris thinking he better than what he is, thinking he could just go in there and turn on magic and all that. All that flashy shit does not matter when you in there and you don't got no pop to your punches and you in there with a decent fighter who can take those punches and come and walk through you and steamroll you. And that's what happened, right? Chris has a decent amount of defensive flaws in his fight game where I knew that Tank, I knew that Shakur or Lomachenko would expose it, and they all three of those individuals I named, Shakur, Tank, Lomachenko, would stop Chris easily in a heartbeat. But he out here talking crazy about Jamel. Again, a former world champion. You ain't sniffed the world title yet, brother. You need to get your career back in track and trying to become a world champion. Then you can come out and start saying some stuff here and there. But the shit that he was talking crazy about Errol Spence and all of that too. I remember that. Talking shit about Errol, which is why when he got whooped, Errol was like, didn't feel bad for him. Errol was clowning his ass. Because all that died in his head, he need that shit and went to his brain. I don't know. You need to go back to the drawing board and figure out how you can bounce back from that. But to talk crazy about Jamel, Jamel is a guy who exemplifies, he's class personified, always a real game opponent, always a lively champion, always a guy that's just a honest, straight up and down dude who tries to goes in there and gives it his all, right? Jamel, a stand-up dude, and you out here trying to talk shit about him? Get your clown ass out of here, bro. Like Chris Colbert, bro, like for real. Chris average as hell for real to me. Average as hell. And he showed it in that fight he had against Hector Garcia. So to call Jamel out after a loss like that, you need to stick to military service. Brother, you need to see what's up with the military yourself after that last fight when you got whooped on by a journeyman dude, a no-name guy. Come on, fam. Get up out of here. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.